Hello dear viewers and learners, welcome back to my educational YouTube channel Literaria Miscellanea. I am Dr. M.Islam, an academia and a guide to the aspirants who are preparing for competitive exams in English, literature, language and grammar. So today, keeping in view or keeping in mind the syllabus of Bihar State Teacher Eligibility Test for class 9, 10 and 11, 12, and going through the entire syllabus, as I have already made a video on this. You can see the video of my introductory note upon the syllabus and upon the oops and gestures of Bihar State Board regarding its upcoming exams, scheduling and the pattern of question papers. Today I will discuss with detailed analysis and explanation from all aspects or from all probable corners that may come in your forthcoming BSTET exams paper. So a poem I have taken as today's class, and the poem is from paper 2, that is from 11-12 prescribed syllabus, is none other than the first poem and the most significant poem by Edmund Spencer, Lyke as a Huntsman. Let me know you about my strategy while covering the syllabus of both 9, 10 and 11, 12, because aspirants are hoping from me to cover simultaneously the syllabus of 9, 10 and 11, 12. So I will alternatively provide the lectures and upload the videos on my YouTube channel from 9-10 syllabus, and afterwards from 11-12 syllabus. The series will gonna be a wonderful one with alternative mode of lectures from both syllabus. So you please stay connected and subscribe to my channel if you still had not subscribed it. So let's start for today's class. So before proceeding the poem and its analysis, I would like to talk a brief note on Edmund Spencer. As you all know that Edmund Spencer was one of the important and famous poet in the Elizabethan era, and the predecessor of Sir Philip Sidney and William Shakespeare, and he adopted the model of Petrarchan sonnet writing and Petrarchan sonnet rhyme scheme and the Petrarchan sonnet love longing. So this sonnet, Lyke as a Huntsman, is a sonnet from the sonnet sequence Amoretti, which consists of 89 sonnets. All the sonnets are dedicated to his would-be, the poet's would-be wife Elizabeth Boyle, and before winning her, the poet had a very confusing mind because of her lady love's arrogancy and rebuffness or rebuffing type of attitude. So the poet continuously tried to woo her, tried to win her, and after her dedicated perseverance or stick to his love longing, he finally able to win Miss Elizabeth Boyle. And while they noted to a marriage ceremony, Edmund Spencer again wrote a beautiful, celebrated poem upon marriage, that is Epithalamio. And this is what about Edmund Spencer. And now let's discuss about the poem and its various genre, its poetic form, its theme, its style, etc., etc. So as you can see in my board, it is sonnet number 67, sonnet number 67, and the poem is written in 90s of 90 time. All right. Second point is, it is an allegorical poem. It is an allegorical poem. All right. Because allegory in what sense? Because it is the love affair or the love longing is shown through the image of a huntsman and a prey and his prey. So it is all about allegorical poem, and the poet is allegorical poem, huntsman, huntsman and his prey. So here huntsman is a poet and his prey is Boyle. All right. So number 3 point is, it is a sonnet 14 lines having octave and sestet and following Petrarchan model. Okay. And the rhyme scheme of the sonnet is what? A B B C C D E. It is the rhyme scheme of the sonnet, and the octave part is about the about the poets or the poetic personage critical situation regarding winning his lady love, his desperation, and the sestet part is the solution or the result of his perseverance. All right. So this is what about the poem. And the theme, yes, theme of the poem is what? Love, longing, desire, perseverance. happiness. All right, this is what the theme, the theme is alluded to, Christ and Christianity. The religious theme is Christ and Christianity. All right, the biblical allusion is there. So this is what about the poem's context and the poem's description within a very short anecdote. Now let's start with the poem line by line analysis. So you can see in the screen, the first line is Lyke as a huntsman after weary chase, seeing the game from him escaped away, sits down to rest him in some shady place, with panting hounds beguiled of their prey. So the poem here uses a simile to his own poetic persona with a huntsman. So like as a huntsman do in a jungle, tries to win his or her prey by using force or by using fearful efforts. So the poet compares himself as a failure one, because he has failed to captivate or to capture his prey. This is why he becomes weary and his chase becomes weary. So the weary chase is an example of transferred epithet. The weary chase is an example of transferred epithet, because he is weary, not his chase is weary. It is attributed to chase. So seeing the game from him escaped away. But as soon as the prey or the targeted wild animal sees him, it escaped away. It escaped away promptly. Here the game is used, it is also compared with a game himself, it is a metaphor. So after the reading of the poem, I will give you the details, the rhetorical expressions line by line. So let first continue the poem. Sits down to rest him in some shady place, with panting hounds beguiled of their prey. And his weary chase for a long time, and his vain effort to capture his prey make him finally exhausted. And being exhausted, his breath are panting, and like what? Like a hounds, like a very dangerous beast, like a very man-eater or animal-eater beast, become angry, like a hounds after become unsuccessful to capture its prey, through the tricky movements of the prey. The poet panting hounds beguiled. So after long pursuit and vain essay, when I all weary had the chase forsook, the gentle deer returned the self-same way, thinking to quench her thirst at the next brook. So the next full line, so after long pursuit and vain essay, so after a long pursuit, a long chasing, and the chasing turns into a vain essay, vain's effort. Here essay means effort, attempt. It is an old use of English, essay. When I all weary had the chase forsook. when I became very wary, and after becoming wary, I forgive or I forsake. Here the poet forsake his intention to chase down his prey, because the prey is playing tricks upon him by moving him round and round and making him exhausted finally. So he gave up, and the gentle deer returned the self-same way. And when he gave up the idea of chasing down the deer, now the deer is used, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in line 7, the targeted prey deer is used. Remember it, it may come. Before it is all allegorical, through the imagery, as a game or as a prey. The gentle deer returned the self-same way. The self-same way, the repetition of words, self and same. When the poet sits down under some shady trees and forgive or forsake approaching towards the deer again come back after a while, because the deer finds that the huntsmen are no longer desirous to capture her. Here the huntsman is none other than the lover, and the deer is his beloved, his arrogant beloved, his truant beloved, who used to flee away again and again from his capture, from his approach, from his love approach. And it is a fashion of of patriarchal type of models, that the lover always tries to woo or tries to captivate his lady love through various type of efforts, and finally he is able to succeed her. So it was a fashion of the Elizabethan period of sonneteers. Thinking to quench her thirst at the next brook, there she beholding me with a milder look. Achha. Thinking to quench her thirst at the next brook. So the deer, comes back through the same route, and when assumes that the huntsman is no longer intended to chase her, therefore she came back to drink water to quench her thirst at the next brook beside the trees where the huntsman is seen seated. There she beholding me with milder look. The 8 lines octave part is covered. The octave part is all about the poet's longing, the poet's confusing approach, Bain's effort to win the deer or his beloved lady love. And the next 6 lines will be the solution. There she beholding me with milder look, sought not to fly, but fearless still did abide, till I in hand her yet half trembling took, and with her own goodwill her firmly tied. So there she beholding me with milder look. There, beside the brook, see the deer or the lady love tends to behold her, behold him, tends to see him, watch him minutely, and with milder look, with a very generous look, because the lover has given up his effort to chase her down, and this made the deer beguiled or captivated, and so she make a glance, and the glance is very milder, and here the allusion of Christ is given. Sought not to fly, but fearless still did abide. Sought not to fly, but fearless still did abide. And now the deer is no longer seem to be fearful, and hence it is fearless, still did abide, and very abiding, very much generous. Here bide is abiding. Till I in hand her yet half trembling look, and with her own goodwill her firmly tied. So until and unless I took her in my hand, and my hands were trembling because of the totally different look of the deer, the totally different gesture of the deer, the unexpected gesture, the unexpected turn. The same deer was escaping away, was making the point moves round and round, and the same deer, after giving up the point's effort to chase her, is automatically allow him to capture her or to grip her in his hands. So this dismayed the poet, and in a very confusing mind he tied the deer without having any knowledge of the unexpected situation, and so his hands are trembling, and with her own goodwill her firmly tied. It is her own goodwill. Whose goodwill? The deer's goodwill, the beloved's goodwill. The beloved's, let the lover to come forward and tied her hands or tied her body. Strange thing, we seem to see a beast so wild, so goodly won, with her own will beguiled. The couplet, the last couplet, strange thing, we meseemed. It is strange. It seems very strange to the poet because of the unexpected situation. Meseemed, I think, to see a beast so wild, a beast asked while ago tends to be wild, but now when I gave up to capture him further, now see goodly one. She is very good at me, and with her own will beguiled, and she let her catch by her own will, and hence both are captivated by both activity. The poet is captivated or fascinated by the deer's unexpected activity, And the deer is also captivated by the poet's unexpected activity. What unexpected activity? Giving up of chasing her down, giving up to capture her forcefully. So this is what about the poem, the analysis line by line. Now it's time to discuss about the rhetorical expressions. So the first line, very chase, is transferred epithet. Line 2, game is a metaphor. Sits down to rest him in some shady place with panting hounds beguiled of their prey. Line 4, panting hounds beguiled of their prey. The situation is compared with the panting hounds, so metaphor. And the hound is the inner thinking, beastly thinking of the poet. Line, so after long pursuit and vain essay. Line 5, long pursuit and vain essay, it is antithesis. Long pursuit and vain essay, the line is antithesis. Or long pursuit and vain essay, the opposite. Long pursuit, vain essay, contradictory group of words. When I will weary had the chase forsook, hyperbaton. Line 6, hyperbaton. So many hyperbaton is used here. Hyperbaton figure is used here. The gentle deer returned the self-same way. Self-same way is repetition. Line 7, repetition. Okay. Thinking to quench her thirst at the next brook, there she, beholding me with milder look. Beholding me with a milder look. 8, 9 line is a allusion of Christ. Okay. It sought not to fly, but fearless still did abide. Okay. Till I hand her yet half trembling look, and with her own goodwill, her firmly tied. Strange thing, we seem to see a beast so wild, so goodly worn, with her own will beguiled. Line 12, line 14 is an example of pun, because of own and own, the duplicity of sense through the unity of sound, pun. So this is all about the rhetorical expressions of the poem. Now come to the point, and now it's time to discuss about MCQs. So the first MCQ is, the poem is taken from the sonnet sequence. So from which sonnet sequence? A. Astrophel and Stella, Turtle's Miscellany, Idea, and Amoretti. So which option will be the correct one? It is a very easy one. It is Amoretti. All right. The sonnet in sequence is numbered as, so you give the answers in the comment section box. All right. After watching the poem analysis, you should have the option to give the answers from the MCQs. So I think that you should give the answers in the comment section box. I will not give the answers. I will give the answers in the comment section box after one day. So the sonnet in sequence is numbered as LX11, LXV 111, LXXV, LX1V. 3 number. The sonnet reflects the love for A. Penelope, B. Goodyear, C. Beatrice, D. Boyle. Okay. Number 4. The central theme of the poem is A. Love and loss, B. Love and perseverance, C. Love and lamentation, D. Love and leisure. Leisure is, missed out here, the last part. So question 5, in line 2, hymn refers to A. God, B. Christ, C. the poet, D. the hounds. 6 number, long pursuit and vain essay is an example of, I have already mentioned here in the screen. So long pursuit and vain essay is an example of epigram, B. paradox, C. antithesis, D. anticlimax. 7 number question, the love pursuit of the poet is reflects in the poem through A. fable, B. parable, C. allegory, D. affection. 8 number question, the phrase milder look alludes to Christ, Christmas, crucifixion, resurrection. Number 9 question, here strange thing means a strange meeting, B. unexpected turn, C. untiring effort, D. all. So number 10 is the last line is an example of parenthesis, pun, paronomasia, pallilogia. So I leave the questions for you to answer. So you please answer the questions and in the comment section box. I will see and reply every answers. And if there is errors or mistake, I will give you the right answer with detailed explanation. So subscribe to my channel and keep connected. Thank you.